Daniel Negreanu is looking down at Queen 10 suited. Pre-flop initiates a spectacular leveling war between two of Canada's finest poker minds, showcasing how high-stakes tournament poker often revolves around playing the player rather than the cards.
Just can't see.
Oh,
thank you.
No problem.
The action begins with Sam Stein opening to 17,000 from the cutoff. McDonald, sitting on the button, looks down at Ace-Jack offsuit. It is a strong hand, but instead of calling, he decides to apply pressure with a 3-bet to 42,000, targeting Stein's wide opening range. However, Negreanu is waiting in the big blind with Queen 10 suited. This is where the psychology deepens. Negreanu knows that McDonald knows that Stein is opening light. Therefore, Negreanu assumes McDonald's 3-bet range is also very wide. Negreanu decides to run a cold 4-bet bluff to 96,000. It is a bold move, completely based on the players, not the cards. Stein quickly gets out of the way, but McDonald isn't finished. Believing Negreanu is making a move, McDonald clicks it back, 5-betting to 150,000.
Can't see.
Re-raise
150.
makes it a total 150,000.
Yeah, can you see that stare down?
Now, Negreanu is in a bizarre spot. He has been re-raised by a player he was trying to bluff. However, because the 5-bet is relatively small and the pot is so bloated, Negreanu feels priced in. He makes the call with Queen 10, taking a massive inflated pot to the flop out of position.
I check.
The flop falls a completely disconnected board that misses both players entirely. The pot is a staggering 328,000. Negreanu, the pre-flop caller, checks. McDonald, having seized the initiative with his 5-bet, fires a continuation bet of 77,000. He is representing a premium overpair like kings or aces, trying to end the hand right there. But Negreanu is reading the narrative, not the board. He knows McDonald 5-bet light, and he knows this flop doesn't connect with the type of hands McDonald would use to do that. Negreanu decides to pull the trigger on a massive high-variance play. This is a breathtaking display of aggression. Negreanu is holding absolutely nothing but queen high, yet he is playing his hand exactly as if he had flopped a set of 9s or 4s.
Can you show any? No, don't actually, don't.
Don't show?
I'm recommending.
You recommend I don't show?
No, I was gonna say
I'm gonna
show
go with
1.
Scott's
No, I was gonna say show 2 or 0. Don't show 1 here.
Don't show 1, because that's needle-ish?
Yeah, I was gonna say 2 or 0.
I'm gonna show... I'm gonna go with my lawyer and go 0.
Yeah.
Daniel Negreanu is looking down at Jack 7 suited. Pre-flop begins with Negreanu putting on a masterclass in loose aggressive play from the hijack position. He opens the pot to 22,000 holding an incredibly speculative hand. Isaac Haxton, the math wizard of the high roller scene, sits on the button with ace-10 of clubs. Haxton makes a standard flat call in position, keeping his range disguised while acknowledging the strength of his own hand. The flop falls a rainbow texture. This is a disaster for Negreanu. He has missed completely, holding only jack high with a backdoor straight draw. Haxton, however, has flopped top pair with a decent kicker. Fua checks his bottom pair. Despite missing the board, Negreanu takes the aggressive route and fires a continuation bet of 36,000. He is trying to represent the ace or king. Haxton, holding the ace, smoothly calls, trapping the bluffer. The turn brings the 6 of spades, which is a complete blank. With no equity, Negreanu decides that he has to keep telling his story. He fires a second barrel of 85,000. Haxton is now facing a decision. He has top pair, but Negreanu is betting into him twice on an ace-high board. Haxton reasons that his hand is underrepresented and calls again, refusing to fold to aggression when his hand is likely best. The river is the queen of diamonds. Negreanu has missed everything. But despite that, he decides that holding one blocker to the straight is enough to make it a bluff spot. This is such a Negreanu move, and one of the reasons I like him so much. He is never afraid to play the player, not the cards. Haxton goes deep into the tank, and I guess he got coolered earlier or something, because despite getting good odds on that pot,
Haxton folds the best hand.
Well done.
Show me a bluff.
Why?
Because
I never do that.
It would be so fun. Jesus.
He is laughing really hard.
That was poetic.
Hard to bluff Ike.
What the hell? Once in a blue moon, you gotta steam.
Daniel Negreanu is looking down at 7-5 offsuit, but he's up against the greatest of all time, Phil Ivey, whose cards we don't see yet. Daniel limps from the button, a play you almost never see at these high levels, because you open yourself up to a stealing raise that you can't really call, but his opponents already know that, so I'm guessing they think he's trying to trap them with a monster hand like pocket aces.
Maria has checked her option. We're going three-way to the flop.
The flop gives Negreanu an open-ended straight draw, but with Phil limping and Maria Ho checking pre-flop, there's a lot of hands in their ranges like suited hearts, small sets, and two-pair combos that connect here. If either of them decides to push, Daniel's draw could get pretty expensive. This bet by Phil doesn't give away much. He's the kind of player who'll fire here whether he's got top pair, a monster draw, or complete air. A flop bet like this is more about taking control rather than showing actual strength. Negreanu was feeling somewhat okay in position here, so he decides to see what move Ivey will make on the turn.
Daniel does call. The turn card is a 7. Phil checks.
I think we should probably just check.
Daniel does bet. And what's Phil thinking?
He's thinking, what's this guy got? What's this guy over here got? What does he got me beat?
Oh, Phil's check raised.
A line like this usually represents real strength, but against someone like Ivey, it can just as easily be a well-timed bluff meant to put Daniel in the blender.
Seconds left to make a decision. He elects to call.
Like there was ever any doubt what Daniel was gonna do.
The river card is the 7 of hearts. Trips for Daniel, but it does put a potential flush out there.
Ivey limped pre-flop, fired a bet on a heart-heavy flop, then check-raised the turn. That line is consistent with a flush draw or a pocket pair of 4s or 6s, which now gives him a full house.
And there's a bet from Phil.
Full house? You got queen 7? I don't think I can fold it.
Daniel calls.
Ace queen.
Phil claims to have ace queen, but he doesn't.
Daniel Negreanu is looking down on pocket aces. Pre-flop, this is the classic trap where one player thinks he is peeling light and instead steps right into a vice. Negreanu raises to 450,000. It is a chunky open, and that alone should already scream strength in this spot. George defends with queen 10 suited. On paper, it is not insane. He has position, a hand that can flop top pair or strong draws, and he probably assumes Negreanu is opening wide. The flop comes 10-3 king with 2 clubs. From George's seat, this is the kind of board that looks playable but is silently dangerous. He has middle pair with queen kicker against a normal open that could be a standard continue, especially in position. Negreanu fires 400,000. That sizing is telling. It is not a tiny range bet, it is a big, old school, I have it continuation. With aces, he is not afraid of building a pot. The turn is the 7 of spades. Negreanu's strong hands are still strong. Kings, aces, ace-king, maybe king-queen all love this card. Very few of Negreanu's bluffs improve in a meaningful way. When Negreanu now moves all in, he is doing exactly what great players do with overpairs in these structures. Shove before the river kills action. He knows that if he just bets small and gets called, any club, queen, jack, or scary river freezes him and lets George realize all of his equity for cheap. By jamming turn into a pot that is already inflated, he puts tremendous pressure on all the middling hands that called flop.
He folds.
I had you beat. Good cards.
I'm happy with my fold.
Yeah.
It was hard though.
The pot was good. I'm like, I'll take it, but if you call, you call. You have to get there.
Did you have it pre-flop or you hit the king?
I had both. I had what you're supposed to have there. A pair of aces I had. Aces were good, right?
Daniel Negreanu is looking down on pocket 8s.
9,000.
Well, that was clear.
Screw this up.
Pre-flop, this is Negreanu doing what Negreanu does. He looks down at pocket 8s and does not overcomplicate it. He raises to 9,000, the classic, let's thin the field and play a pot in position or heads up. Dimjan on the button chooses the flat. That call is him saying, I want to see 3 cards against the pro and keep my range wide. The flop is one of those dream spots for Negreanu. He flops set on a board that absolutely slams his perceived range. When he continues for 16,000, the bet is doing a lot of work. It looks like a standard continuation bet with ace-king, king-queen, or even pure spade draws, so it keeps Jacobson's floats and Demjan's entire Broadway region interested. This is where Negreanu turns the screws. He fires 45,000 into a pot that has already grown large, and that sizing is intentional. It says, "I still like my story, and if you were floating me with one pair or a draw, the price just went up." From his seat, there is no reason to slow down. Worse kings will still call. Combo draws will convince themselves they are priced in, and any hand like queens or jacks is hating life, but may still pay.
Ace jack.
Oh, sure, ain't nothing. I have 3/8. I want you to go, ugh. All in.
The queen goes straight.
All in.
Call. All in?
Huh?
Call.
Oh, we got one. I'm happy with my hand. I had suited, I had a king. A lot going on there. You move in, I call this time anyway. I was just saying, screw it. Okay, we need a hat.
At least one heart on the flop would be good for Daniel.
George needs the best hand to hold up to survive. The flop has a 5 and a 10 on it.
Oh, we got pairs, he's got pairs, we all got pairs. We all got 3 hearts, 3 diamonds. Pretty close race. 50-50.
Not sure the math there works, but you gotta believe it first, and Daniel really believes it.
The turn card is the 3 of diamonds.
That didn't help me at all. Quite the opposite, frankly.
5 of spades! Daniel wins!
That was lucky.
I just wanted clear that I clearly outplayed you in our all-in pots. Obviously.
Kid Poker is in the final.
All right. Sorry, bro. That was ugly.
Daniel Negreanu is looking down at ace-jack offsuit.
Playing mean now. No position. Es muy importante. See? Oh,
Don't tell him.
You have the position, right? Don't waste it. Use it.
I think the
It's an advantage for you.
I think the driver's coming out.
Is the driver? Well, you don't have to use a driver. You can lay up. You can lay up once in your life, Sergio. Use a 3-wood sometime. Keep it in the fairway. No. Okay, see? In the fairway.
3-wood.
Lay up.
He's gonna lay up?
Lay up.
Pre-flop, this is one of those quiet, small pot spots that Negreanu loves to turn into a clinic. The flop lands better for Negreanu than for Sergio as expected. Negreanu flops second pair, top kicker on a dryish texture. When Negreanu checks, it is that trademark Negreanu pot control, undeuce line. With a hand that is often best but not thrilled to play for 3 streets on this board, the turn bricks for both of them, but a lot of Sergio's potential floats or random overcards are now drawing thin, and Negreanu's jacks are now beating even more of Sergio's range. After the check on the flop, Negreanu seizes the initiative and fires 150,000. This is a classic delayed continuation bet. He represents a king, a jack, or even a slow-played monster while targeting exactly the sort of hand Sergio has, a stubborn one-pair bluff catcher that does not want to fold immediately. Sergio's call with 8s reflects that thinking. The river is horrible for Sergio's range and beautiful for Negreanu's story. All the big card stuff Negreanu represents has either stayed ahead or improved, and a bunch of draws get there too. When Negreanu bets 225,000 into a swollen pot, it is a very credible value bet, and it also leverages the fact that Sergio's line caps him around exactly what he has, a medium-strength pair that hates its life.
I hit something, but I lose with so many hands. Fold.
Good fold.
See, if you hit driver before the flop, you'd be out of the tournament.
He said fold.
Yeah. Yeah, if you hit driver, you would be out. No good, no good.
I know, I got a match.
You would have been out.
Showed an 8.
If you hit the driver,
Daniel shows ace jack.
you laid up, and now you still have a chance to, you know, compete in the tournament.
To play the next hole.
See, I'm already coaching you on your golf game.
I laid up, I still have a chance to play the next hole.
Yes, exactly, right? But if you would have hit it OB or put it in the water, you finished.
Daniel Negreanu is looking down at pocket jacks.
Phil lock, and it messes with my. When I start with Phil, it's like you can't even, it's like you're there, it's micro magnesium. It's like
Micro-magnesium.
Crazy.
Speaking of magnesium,
Speaking of magnesium.
if you have a strip of magnesium and you light it, it will go out very quickly because it super consumes nitrogen. But if you feed it a continuous stream of nitrogen, the magnesium actually stays lit.
Okay, we've got a raise and a re-raise.
Then you have a flare of, if you can keep feeding nitrogen into a tube, the flame will never go out as long as nitrogen keeps getting fed because magnesium burns
See what I'm
through
saying?
nitrogen, not oxygen.
what a story.
I just love the line, speaking of magnesium.
Speaking of magnesium.
Pre-flop, this is the classic strong versus speculative clash you get all the time in deep cash games. The flop is about as good as it gets for Negreanu. He smashes it with top set on a relatively dry board, while Vanessa has only ace-high with backdoor hearts and a few runner-runner straight possibilities. When she checks, Negreanu fires 4,500, a sizing that keeps his range wide and lets worse hands continue. Vanessa's call is a float plus equity. She is not beating much yet, but her hand can improve on a lot of turns. She picks up the nut flush draw, so now her ace-9 has real equity against all of Negreanu's value range. She checks again, and Negreanu keeps telling the story with a 9,200 barrel. From his perspective, he still wants calls from overpairs, and exactly the kind of strong draws Vanessa now has. Her second call is mandatory. She is getting a good price, has 15 outs against an overpair, and can potentially bluff rivers if checked to. The river bricks everything for her and quietly locks up the pot for Negreanu. When she checks a third time, Negreanu goes for full value with a 28,000 bet, polarizing his range to monsters and bluffs.
Really? God, I really don't know what to do here. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry.
Vanessa folds.
Hi, Sam.
I'm so curious what she had there.
I really didn't believe you.
Nice
I'm
fold.
so
I
curious
didn't have
what she
very
had.
much. I didn't have very much.
Nice fold. 20 seconds though and shift it in.
Shipped it in.
That's what I should have done. That would have been
No, I'm serious.
It's gonna fold 3 jacks.
You didn't have to.